We've been making tamales since I was a little girl. My tata Genaro Camacho was from El Paso, and when I was a little girl, my earliest remembrances of Christmas were of him actually mixing the nixtamal, because he would make his own masa. Back in the 50s, you couldn't buy it. Essentially, you need three things to make a tamal. You need to have the covering, or what you wrap them in. We use the corn husks. You have a filling, and then you also have the masa, because you can't have a tamal without the masa. To have a tamal, you have to have something to wrap it in. We use the corn husks. Other people may use banana leaves. We use the corn husk, which is traditional for our family. The corn husks that we use come from corn, and they're dried. One of the chores is to soak them, make sure they're ready. You have to pat them dry. You don't want them too wet, because then the masa won't stick to the masa, or the dough will not stick to the hoja. So someone has to soak them and then pat them dry. Then you put them in baking pans, and we put them in there. And then, of course, you have to have masa, and the masa has to be of a certain consistency and flavor, so that it still has good flavor after it's steamed. And you have to have a filling. So a filling, there's a variety of them. We use pork and chile verde de Nuevo Mexico. We use beef and chile colorado de Nuevo Mexico. And then we make some veggie ones as well. And then we have an assembly line, basically. We have someone who's already gone through the masa, softened it up. We don't usually add too much to it. It's already preparada. Preparada means that you don't have to put too many additives to it. And then so you have people that are using the back of a tablespoon. You get a couple of tablespoons of masa, throw it on the husk, and with the back of the spoon, or the rounded part, you spread it. And then as people are or are not trained, you train them to leave the bottom part of the hoja without masa. You want to have, and again, personal preference, we don't like a lot of masa, so it's kind of a thin layer of masa, then the filling that we've made, and then you roll it up, tuck it under, and then we put them in a different pan. And then somebody else's job is we have Ziploc baggies. Somebody else has already labeled them with 1209, and then put beef and red, or green and pork, or veggies, and then we stand them up, because you don't want them laying down, because then the filling will come out. So they'll be that way until next week, and then on Saturday we'll begin to steam them for that evening's big party, the Tamalada. And the way this kind of started for us expanding, because it was immediate family on Christmas Eve, and then it started to expand. We had people that said, "I've never made tamales," or "I don't remember how to make them. Can I come over and learn how to make them? Can you teach me how to make them?" And so we've been able to recruit friends and family, extended family, to come and help us to put the tamales together. We will make them today. That's called embarrando, or spreading the masa on the hoja, and we will fill them. And then we will keep them for a week, and next Saturday we'll steam them. To cook the tamales, or to steam the tamales, we need to have what is called an olla. And normally the tamal ollas have a subfloor on them, which means that you have about 2 inches minimum where you can put water, and they'll have a little subfloor that either has holes drilled through it so the steam can come through, but you need something where the steam is going to come through. And then you would stack the tamales. You have to stack them so that the open part is up, and you want to stack them so they're there's space between them, so when they start to steam, they cook evenly. And you also want to get a wet rag, put that on top, make sure not too much steam will escape. It varies from about 2.5 to 3 hours to cook, depending on how many tamales you have in the olla. And then once they're cooked, the way you tell that they're cooked is you take one out, it's a tester, and you remove the hoja, the corn husk. If the masa doesn't stick to it, they're done.